All right, let's talk about syncing. So syncing is a new feature in 2026.4 that's soon to be released. And the whole idea behind syncing is I want to have CaveWhere run on mobile devices. And mobile devices, it's really hard to move data between the devices, kind of merge data. It's not like the desktop. Even on the desktop, you always get the problem of sending files through a file share or via email. You're not quite sure if this is the latest and greatest file. There's lots of archiving that happens. And you may get data loss along the way, especially if you have multiple people modifying the file at the same time. Generally, how Cave projects get around this is you have a single sole source person that's modifying the files, and everyone else is giving that data to that person. That person can get overwhelmed, they can die, all sorts of things, and then the Cave survey kind of slows down. So CaveWhere, I've tried to implement syncing so multiple people can modify the same CaveWhere project at the same time, have a history behind it, and always have the latest and greatest data up to date. So how do you do this? How do we explore the synchronization stuff? So CaveWhere now has this new button up here. This is the sync button. You can see our Cave data is up to date. You can actually go and look at the history of this file, and you can see all the different changes that have happened. So for example, if I want to make a change in CaveWhere, I can go into the data here and say I go into this scrap, and maybe I don't want this label in the 3D rendering anymore. And maybe this is actually changed to 10 meters. It's not actually a 15-meter climb. The person that estimated it was wrong, and maybe it's 1 by 5 feet. So at this point, you could actually click this button and it would synchronize that new update with a GitHub server. Now you can set this up with GitHub or GitLabs or Bitbucket. I don't have integrations for GitLab or Bitbucket yet, but currently we're just going to try it out with GitHub. So in the history, now we can see that we have this new change. So this is the change. We changed it to 10-meter climb. We changed the size. We adjusted some of that outline there. And you could write a commit message here, like updated the data. And then this will show up as a new commit line. Now we could also change this, say if we want to move that over there. If we just click the sync button, it'll essentially do the same thing just without that commit message. So it'll say sync from CaveWhere. This is the change that we have. So now that you've made some changes, you have a CaveWhere project, if you want to share this with someone, you can go back to file and you can say share. So at this point, you need to, if your CaveWhere file is up on GitHub already, you can invite them as a collaborator on GitHub. This will take you to the collaborator screen and you can add people. Or you can, once those are added, most repositories, you want to have this as like a private repository. You can copy this link. And if you go into your browser, you can send this via email or something else. And if once you open this link, it will open CaveWhere and ask you to clone the repository. So if I restart CaveWhere just from the start, so here's the link off the browser, this will open up CaveWhere, and off of that link, it'll ask me to save somewhere. So we'll just like choose a spot here, say number 5. Number 5 is already taken. Okay, and open this. So now this is gonna download the data. I'm gonna log in here. And it got all the data, and like, let's see if we have those changes that we made. So here's the one, that's the second change that we made. And then this is the update data. So I'm just going to show you kind of how this works with merge conflicts. So say if we open up our original project file, that's in a different location. So here's our original. So if I was in in this guy, and I change this to B2, and this person on this other synchronization changed this to C2, right? So now we have a merge conflict. Generally with cave data, you're not going to have merge conflicts because like kind of things are independent of each other. But CaveWhere deals with this by whoever syncs last, kind of their change sticks. So if we go ahead and sync on this one, we will see the history that we've changed this to B2. And if we go ahead and sync on this one, what's going to happen is CaveWhere is going to make a merge conflict between these two things. And so you can see that we've branched. This is the one commit on the left that we've changed to B2. And then this is ours that we've changed it to C2. And then we have to choose which one is which. And so CaveWhere will generally choose this one because we've committed last. And so if we try to sync again, it'll say that we're up to date. And if we sync this, it'll pull down those new changes, and we should have C2 here. So now we're both synchronized with, no merge conflicts, but we're like, oh, actually it should be B2. You can actually go into the history and you're like, oh, okay, I actually want it to be B2. You can go back here and you can say, restore this to this point. So now CaveWhere will go back and restore that station to B2. We're restoring that, and we can synchronize that. And you can see now we're at B2. And if we click sync on our other section, you can now see that we're synced up and we're back to B2. And you can see that this restore happened. So this is kind of the idea behind the CaveWhere syncing, is that it allows you to quickly share the data back and forth, and it has automatic merge conflict resolution. So it tries to avoid merge conflicts to begin with, and if there are merge conflicts, it tries to handle them as gracefully as can. And of course, you can roll back changes that are accidentally committed. So this is the whole idea behind syncing. I think it's a really cool feature. It's not super relevant for the desktop applications, but it could be if you're sharing files. But for mobile, it's really, really useful when we get there and I can start drawing in CaveWhere and synchronizing data between desktop and mobile phones. Okay, awesome.